Hello, my name is Paul Harry with Innovative Table Games, and I would like to introduce you to our tutorial, Super Easy Aces, a new table game that Innovative Table Games has developed. Now, I would like to let you know up front that you can easily visit our website. As you can see, the web address before you. You can visit at any time. You can play Super Easy Aces along with our other game, Pairs in a Poker. We invite you to join us and check out our two games. Now, what makes Innovative Table Games a little bit different from other game developers is we have developed a deck of cards that we call a wheel-based format. By having a slightly different deck, we are able to create new games that will offer players something entirely new and different to play in the casino. Now, in our deck, we have 25 aces, 12 twos, 8 threes, and 7 fours, and 2 jokers. So in this particular game, we're actually going to have 54 cards that are going to be involved. And as I indicated, 25 aces, 12 twos, 8 threes, and 7 fours. So as you might imagine, when you're playing this game, that there's a lot of aces here, and certainly are going to show up. Now, what makes this game unique is that it is a one-card game. So it is a fast-moving game. It's a lot of fun. And for the casino, it will put out 400 plus hands per hour. Now, that would be based on a house edge of 3.33%. So it's got a nice little edge for the house, and it's a lot of fun for the players. So let's back up the camera here a little bit, and let's show the layout and explain how Super Easy Aces is played. Now, as I mentioned, the player is going to get one bet, or one card rather, and the dealer is going to get one card. This one card is going to determine the win and loss for the player. Now, a player can make any number of bets. On the layout, each position, there are 5 bets here that a player may wager. They may bet them all. They may bet one. They may bet them in different combinations. So they might have 2 checks here, and they might have 4 here, and 1 on the other ones. They might have 2 or 3 on the dealer's match. Again, the one card that they receive is going to determine the win and loss for the game. So let's see how this might unfold here. We're going to shuffle the deck between each round of play. That maintains the integrity of the deck. We usually recommend a shuffle, strip shuffle, if you're using a hand deck, a single deck. This game can be played with a single deck, a double deck, multiple decks. It ideally would work best with a 1-2-6 continuous shuffler where you load 6 decks into the shuffler and you deal cards. But as I said, it can be a one deck card. You just need to shuffle it between each and every round. So let's say we put these cards out like so. The dealer gets a card. Now, it's dealt in blackjack, you know, from left to right, and then payouts are from right to left. Now, in this particular case, the player simply bet the 3. So the 3 pays 5 to 1, so the player's going to win. This player had the 2. These bets are going to lose, and the player is going to win 3 to 1. Now, this player also bet the dealer's match. To win that bet, we want their card to match the dealer. So let's turn it over and see. The cards do not match, so that bet loses. So what are the odds on each of these bets? Let me go ahead and remove these checks and I can show you. Now, as I said, the overall house edge for the game is 3.33. But each one of these bets has its own individual odds. The ace, which pays even money, is 3.85. The 2, which is 1.92. The 3 is 3.85, and the joker is 3.70. So let's look at a couple of scenarios as to how the player can bet and those various odds. And what happens when, say, for instance, a player gets a diamond, because as you can see, we have this diamond bonus in here. What does that mean? Well, let's say that a player draws a two of diamonds. As before, the other bets would lose, and the player would win 3-1 for that bet. But because they got the 2 in the format of a diamond, they get an extra even money payout. So on the 2 and 3, that's where the diamond bonus kicks in. So if it had been a 3, then the player would win 5-1 for their bet, plus an extra even money payout. Now, what happens when a player gets a joker? This is the bet that really brings people out of their seats. So, let's say the player has got a couple of bets here, and they pull a joker. Well, the first thing that happens is that normally, when another card is drawn, all these bets would lose. But when the joker happens, these bet pushes. So in this particular case, the player would win 25-1, so they would win $125, and these bets would push. It's a nice little payout. Now, to even make the game more fun, with, let's say, the joker here, if the dealer happens to make the joker as well, there's a really huge payout. And that payout will be different depending on the number of decks that are being used in the game. If you're using one deck, there's only 2 jokers. So this can be the only matchup. In this particular case, then this matchup would pay 100-1. So this player would win $500. I'm sure that's going to make them very, very happy. Now, if you're using multiple decks, the payout would only be 51, so the $500 payout would only be $250. But still, it's a very, very nice payout if it happens to happen. And it's extremely rare, but it will happen when players sit down and play. Now, we've also mentioned that we have 4s in the deck. Now, 4s are what we call the death card issue. So let's say a player draws a 4. They lose everything. But this particular player happened to be betting the dealer's match. And if the dealer happens to have a 4, which in this case they do, they're going to win, and they win 10-1. So, player's going to win $50 for that bet. So they've been able to recoup everything they've lost here. So with that side bet, they've been able to hedge their bet a little bit. So it's kind of like insurance for blackjack or something, and it gives, you know, a little momentum and of interest. So the really cool thing about this game is simply the fact that it generates a lot of excitement because really nice things can happen when you're playing. And players will sit here and play the game, and they may try to hedge their bets. They may try different betting systems. For instance, a person could play a martingale system where they would simply double. They would double up every time they lost to see if they can't recoup their money. We also have noticed that players will bet a system where, for instance, they'll bet 5, 3, and 2 on these 3 bets. So they'll try and hedge, because if they get the ace, they win even money, and if they get the 3 or the 2 rather, it pays 3-1, so they'll pick up the 45 there. And of course, if they've got 2 there and they hit that, then they're going to pick up $50 for that. And if they get a diamond on either one of those, they're going to get an extra even money payout. So the game can really move a player up and down, and they don't have to put a whole lot of thought into the game, but they can just simply have a lot of fun. So what are some of the other things? On the dealer's match, as I mentioned here, the house edge is on average 3.33. The dealer's match, depending on the number of decks you're using and the way the payouts are structured, can be anywhere from 2.73 all the way up to 7.62. So the house has a little bit more choice in exactly how they want to structure the base and how they want to play the game. And basically that concludes the tutorial here. Very short, easy game. I hope you will put it into your casino, and if you'd like to play it and really see how it flows, then I invite you to come to our website at www.easyaces.com. Play the game, see how you do. Thank you for your time.